Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. So glad you're here. So glad you're in this conversation. I'm Fletcher Ellingson, your host and coach of Vision Pros Live. Today on the show, we have David P. from GrowAss. And before we get into who he is and what he does, first off, David, welcome to the show. And start us off with a win. What's going well in your life?
Thanks, Fletcher. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on. I think in terms of a win, I think let's talk business. I think probably for us, what's going really well at the moment, and it's been kind of taken us by surprise, to be honest, is that essentially all of our signups to the product are coming from ChatGPT or another LLM, right? So people are searching for some sort of a Google Ads optimization solution, and the LLMs are recommending us.
Whoa, that's interesting.
I don't know why. Yeah, I know, and I think we must be doing something right. I think on the organic side.
And let me interject something because not everyone's up to speed on AI and LLMs. LLM is large language model, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So what you're saying is these ChatGPT type AI models, when someone's making an inquiry of like, who should I hire to optimize my ads using an AI product, they're giving you the referral, right?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very good position to be in, because a lot of people place a lot of trust in the answers it comes back with. Also, actually, Google search is probably our second biggest acquisition channel, so that's also great. But I mean, it's pretty clear that I think the way that people interact with the internet is moving towards LLMs, right? Most people are, if they want they're looking for a solution that's a bit more non-obvious, that they have to jump through hoops for. I think LLMs do a good job of doing that research for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's a good position to be in. But yeah, I think that's probably what's going quite well at the moment.
Yeah, and to your point, we took a trip to Europe this past summer. Spent some time in Vienna, and my wife, instead of using Google to look everything up, she just interacted with chat, and she got our entire itinerary, and it was fast, but largely extremely accurate.
Yeah.
And it was stuff that we wouldn't have necessarily found on Google, because it was so dialed in. It was impressive.
That's right. I think the reason that is because it takes all the sources it can find and then puts it together into one answer. So it means that we're probably appearing in a lot of different places. People are talking about us on Reddit. People are talking about us in niche marketing forums. People talk about us on YouTube. I mean, I think that's what it means. It's taking into account all this information into consideration and then saying, GrowAss is your best bet. So it's nice. Enjoying it.
Yeah, good. Well, congratulations on that success. Now, for those of that are listening, viewing this, tell us what you do exactly. What does GrowAss do?
Sure. So we essentially use AI agents to optimize Google Ads. That's what we do for now. There's a few more things coming in the pipeline, but for now, I think you can think of GrowAss as essentially a team of autonomous marketing agents working 24/7 to make your campaigns more profitable than they would have been otherwise.
Got it.
So in the past, if you're a business owner and you want to hire, you're running ads on Google, you want to make money with that. Maybe you have to hire an expert that's really expensive, or a whole marketing team. GrowAss is here to essentially do what they do and more, and try to get you better results. I think in a nutshell, that's how I describe it.
Okay, cool. So I understand that, and I'm going to come back to that because there's some language in there that I want our audience to understand. But before we do that, this is called Vision Pros. This is the podcast. So what I want to know is, what's that story in your brain that you and your team are working to bring into the physical realm? In other words, what's your vision?
I mean, I think in short, it's giving all business owners of all size the ability to run ads profitably on autopilot. It's really hard, right? There's hundreds of thousands of these Google Ads agencies out there charging an arm and a leg and a lot of them are cowboys. So I think my vision is to essentially build a product where you can just plug in all your information, and Grass does all the heavy lifting at a fraction of the cost, and you're able to get the results that you want for your business.
Yeah. And what you're, so in a sense, what I hear you saying is your company is in a sense leveling the playing ground, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So whereas the big players had a massive advantage because of that budget, that financial budget they had,
Sure.
and a team, that department they had, you're saying like, hey, look, we have something now that can play at the same level.
Correct.
Even though you don't have that department or that massive budget. Am I reading you correctly?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I couldn't put it better myself. I think it's the idea that regardless of your budget size, your team size, you can get the best possible like ad performance results compared to people with 7, 8, 9-figure monthly budgets. Before that wasn't possible, right? If you're a small business owner, you're spending maybe $5,000 a month on ads. You probably have no idea what you're doing with Google Ads. Google Ads is not easy. It takes a lot of learning to do. I know this from family and friends who started businesses. Google Ads is a big learning curve to it, but you need Google Ads is also an incredible tool to grow your business. So it's the idea that we're trying to basically level that playing field and give you access to performance that you probably would have never gotten.
Yeah, that's exciting. The other thing that I wanted to come back to is you're using this term that I'm familiar with, but certainly many people are not because it's relatively new and mainstream, is this thing called an AI agent. Okay, so give us the nutshell version of that for somebody who's not familiar with what an AI agent is.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think about it, and there's lots of different definitions, but I mean, the way we think about it is software that runs autonomously and can take decisions for you. I think that's probably the cleanest way of doing that. I mean, in our case, it can be, for example, an agent that is focused on one particular task, and that task is let's write the best ad copy possible, right? And we've trained these agents to do that over time. Maybe we have another agent that's focused exclusively on blocking irrelevant keywords. It's been trained on what's a relevant keyword for this campaign versus what isn't. Now, where it starts to get quite interesting is when you can combine these agents into one and get them to talk to each other. Mm-hmm. But essentially, in my mind, an agent is a piece of software that can run autonomously and is trained for one particular task and to do that quite well.
Yeah. Okay, great. And so for those of you who are not familiar with this concept, you're going to hear it more and more and more every week. This is because it's not on its way here. It is here, and it's going to become the thing that everybody's using, because this is going to be in every industry, right? I mean, people are going to be using these AI agents, and I like what you said. It's software, okay? Yep. Because there's also a lot of fear, like they're thinking, and of course there's that possibility, but we refer to them as agents because they're doing a specific task. They're representing a specific task for your business. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So you might have sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would say for now it's software, right? I think it's going to be a little, when it starts to get to the hardware side, then it starts to be a bit more dangerous, a bit more scary. But that's a much harder problem to solve. So I think, anything that can be done on a computer, at a desktop, is, more at risk of agents just basically doing the work, right?
Yes.
But if it's something like a plumber, right, a robo plumber, I don't really see that happening anytime soon. That's a much, much harder problem to solve.
Yeah. And thus why, hey, we need people in those trade jobs, and also that's why they're able to charge way more money than they've ever been able to charge in history. Yeah. I mean, right? They are completely a specialized trade now. So it's pretty cool. All right. So everyone's there are a lot of businesses that are running Google Ads. These small and moderate sized businesses particularly may not have the big budget. They may not have the people. And so what I want you all to hear, if this is you, if we're describing you, What David's saying is they have a product that can do it more effectively and probably more inexpensively than you're doing it currently. So, so David, if somebody's listening and says like, well, yeah, who doesn't want that? Like, I want that. How do they connect with you? And tell me a little bit about what it looks like to work with you all.
Sure. I mean, we actually opened up our self-serve product about 5 or 6 weeks ago. So before that, we were only working with big spenders, like people spending 7 figures a month on Google Ads through us. And that taught us a lot. We learned a lot through that process. Since we then opened, and we actually were very careful with who we worked with. Since we then opened up the product to the world, usage has just been crazy. I now no longer really track. We have all sorts of business models, all sorts of niches. So you can sign up on grass.ai. The base plan is $79 a month. That's probably what a Google Ads consultant will charge you for an hour, probably more. That's the base plan, and it basically scales depending on your ad spend. So signing up can be done directly on the website. We also have for every customer a dedicated Slack channel, so where either myself or someone else from the team is there to support them with their campaigns, and we're there 24/7.
Got it.
Especially given the sort of software this is, where we're promising financial returns essentially on your ad spend. It's something we take very seriously. So we're like there 24/7, helping people scale. So that's essentially what it looks like. Sign up on the website, or if you're a big spender, we do a demo.
All right. So then I want to represent a bunch of my viewers who are hearing this. Okay. So I'm going to ask some questions on behalf of them. So is the self-servicing, am I interacting with a large language model to help me set it up as well? Or is that basically what I'm doing? Or can I use the Slack person to get live help as well?
Question. So you can create an account as you would normally. It's a product, so it lives on the web. The setup process is quite straightforward. There's basically 2 things you've got to do: is 1, connect your Google Ads account to us, and then 2, paste a specific piece of JavaScript onto your website. Once you've done that, all of the actual technical setup is done. Then all you have to do as a user is in the dashboard basically pick which campaigns you want to optimize using GrowAds. Now you can just test with 1 campaign to start. If you're not sure, you test with 1 campaign, bring it under GrowAds management, and then you can manage it within the GrowAds dashboard. And then quite quickly what happens is you see the performance benefits, and you end up bringing more of your campaigns to GrowAds. Or you can just create a fresh campaign from scratch, also directly within GrowAds. There's various ways of working with it. But in the self-serve model, you can essentially handle that all yourself. Even if you are doing that all yourself, we still have that dedicated Slack channel just for you, where someone's there 24/7 as well.
Got it. Cool. And you before we started recording, you mentioned you were in Nicaragua right now. You're based in London. And do you have a remote team, or are you all based in London? And it sounds like you're scaling at the moment. So like, tell me a little bit about your team. How do you manage all this?
Yeah, so we're fully remote. We're based all over the world. We have people in all sorts of time zones. That's very much how I wanted to build the company from the start. Me personally, I'm normally based between London and the US. GrowAds as a company itself is actually incorporated in the US. Most of our people are there, but we also have people in all sorts of places. I mean, we have some people in Southeast Asia at the moment. I'm 12 hours behind them. So like coordinating all that can be quite tough. But yeah, we're fully remote, and I think a lot of people like that. I think a lot of people enjoy the freedom that it gives them. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Right on. Well, I'm going to be keeping tabs on y'all because this is of interest to me, and we are constantly connecting with all sorts of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, medium-sized businesses. And so this is, my wheels are turning here, right? So I want to check in with you later. I'd love to have you back on the show. I'd love to hear some case studies.
Sure.
And I'd also love to hear like what wasn't working, what y'all did to fix that, right? Because I'm sure there's been plenty of those, right?
A lot of stories.
Yeah, right. So, so I'd love to have you back on the show. Is that something you'd like to do?
For sure. It'll be a pleasure.
Okay, right on. Good. Well, David, thank you for being on the show. Thanks for bringing to light what's possible now with these AI agents. And it sounds like you guys have a good handle on it. The website is groas.ai. That's GROAS.ai. And reach out to them. If you have questions, they're gonna be happy to answer them. And now you all know what to do. It's time to get out there. Be a source of kindness. Be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.